Hi everyone, I am Mitra and welcome back to my channel. In this video we are going to discuss about facial nerve and facial palsy. A lot of us are confused regarding this topic and it's a fairly simple one, and today I am going to clarify it for you. First, we need to know the pathway of facial nerve. Imagine that this is one cerebral cortex, this is the other cerebral cortex, and imagine that this is the pons and this is the face. For convenience, I'm dividing the face into 4 equal parts. This is the pons, this is the cerebral cortex. Now, as you already know, our body is crazy and everything is crossed. Not exactly everything, but nerves, they usually cross from one side to the opposite side to supply the nerve. So if we take this half of the face, it gets the nerve supply from this cerebral cortex, and this half of the face gets its nerve supply from this cortex. Okay, in this pons we have facial nuclei. This demarcates the line between upper motor and lower motor. Anything above the facial nerve nuclei is upper motor and below it is lower motor. Now let's start. To supply this half of face, the fibers have to come from this cerebral cortex. So the fibers are coming now. There is a facial nerve nuclei, so these are the upper motor nerves. Then it goes and supplies upper half of face. Now this set of fibers supply the lower half of face. So it's not done yet. There is a twist in the story. These fibers take up an additional responsibility of supplying the upper half of face of opposite side. So they come like this and they supply like this. I'm going to color this so that you'll understand it better. Upper motor nerve fibers coming to supply the face, and to supply the opposite side upper half of face. So each facial, from one cerebral cortex we get the nerve supply to 3/4 of our face. Next, what happens? Okay, the similar thing happens on the other side. The fibers come to the nucleus, they end there. The lower motor nerve fibers, they supply this upper half of face, and the fibers come here, they go to the lower half of face, they supply, and the additional responsibility of supplying the upper half of face of the opposite side. Now I'm going to take up another color to color this. Lower half of face is applied, upper half of face is applied, the additional responsibility supplying the other half of face. Now this side is supplying 3/4 again, so let's color it. As you can see, the upper part of our face has bilateral innervation. We have proved it now. Now you have to be very clear that these are the upper motor fibers. These 3 blue ones are the upper motor fibers and they supply 3/4. and after they end in the facial nerve nuclei in the pons, they start as lower motor neurons, which is the actual facial nerve which comes out through the stylomastoid foramen behind the ear. This bundle makes it up, which has two fibers from the opposite side and one set of fibers from the same side. This is the facial nerve, which is the lower motor neuron. Okay, now let's discuss the lesions. Let us discuss the upper motor neuron lesions of facial nerve. As usual, I am going to draw the cerebral cortex, other cerebral cortex, pons, face. Now, let us consider a lesion here. First of all, let's draw the normal fibers. Coming here, going there, supplying. Coming here, going there, supplying. And coming here, going there, supplying. Coming here, going there, supplying. Coming here, going there, supplying. Something is missing. Oh, this one. Coming here, going there, supplying. Now, if there is a lesion here, if these fibers are cut, what supply is lost? The supply to, if there is a lesion here, now the supply to this is lost, this is lost, and this is lost. Okay? But you can see that there is a nerve supply to this part, there is a nerve supply to this part, and there is a nerve supply to this part. So these are safe. The only thing that is affected is this one. So when there is an upper motor lesion of one side of facial nerve, there will be paralysis of opposite side lower half of face. The upper half of face is spared because it has bilateral innervation from the opposite side. Now let's move on to lower motor lesions of facial nerve. Lower motor neuron lesions of facial nerve. Now, as usual, let's draw the cerebral cortex, pons, face. Now, this one is fairly simple. In this, the facial nerve is damaged from the nuclei downwards. So, from this nuclear level, lower motor neuron lesion means lesion of the nuclei and downwards, which includes the facial nerve. Now, let's draw what we know already. Supplying. Okay. Now, we know that facial nerve is comprised of two sets of fibers from opposite side of cortex and one set of fibers from the same side of cortex. Now, when the nerve is cut, we lose this, and this. And there is nothing to compensate, because what was the advantage before became the disadvantage here. The crossing happens above the level of facial nerve nuclei, so whatever down is lost forever, because the crossed fibers are also in the same bundle, and after they are cut, there is nothing to compensate. Now, this part of the face is affected, and this part of the face is also affected. Now you can clearly see that when there is a lesion, lower motor lesion of facial nerve, the same side, entire half of the face is affected. It is a very simple concept. Don't be confused. If you have any doubts, comment down below, and see you in my next video. Bye.